There's a number of issues that our state has made very poor decisions on, and I'll start with the way that it does not help people when they're trying to move forward and grow our economy. We need energy in Pennsylvania. That would be one of my top priorities, to jumpstart our energy industry, make connections with the development of energy, with the delivery of energy, building pipelines, and also the delivery through ports in Philadelphia and Erie. We do have a significant opportunity here to grow that part of our economy and give a lot of opportunity to people for jobs. Because I believe that the energy industry will trickle down to make us have more opportunity in manufacturing, which used to be a bedrock of Pennsylvania, especially in our smaller cities and towns, but has evaporated because energy became very expensive. If we have our energy developed right here in Pennsylvania, we're going to have a lot more opportunity to regrow business in our smaller cities and towns. It's our economy that's really been a problem, and people have not had the opportunity that they should right where they live. And my goal is to help make that happen for people across Pennsylvania. One of the other parts of that is our bureaucracy. We have too much regulation, and it's really nonsensical. It doesn't really help anyone achieve their goal. It's important for us to focus on regulating where it keeps people safe, but making sure that we don't overregulate so that people who are trying to seize opportunities to grow businesses and make their families prosperous, to make it more difficult for them. That's not what we should be doing on the state level. The other issue is our tax system. Our corporate net income tax is 10%. That needs to be cut. We also need to make sure that we are focusing on what helps people to advance. Our bureaucracy needs to be focused on helping people to comply with our regulations and our rules, not to say gotcha and go finding people at the first opportunity. We want Pennsylvania to be a dynamic, growing place, and a place that people want to come. And so as far as I'm concerned, our goal is to make sure that that atmosphere works for everyone. No matter their specialty, no matter their education level, everyone should have an opportunity to thrive in Pennsylvania. One of the other issues that's been big is a concern about elections. And certainly there was a very large change to our elections in Pennsylvania prior to the 2020 election at the end of 2019. And what was done doesn't seem to me that it worked out well for Pennsylvania. And I think what we need to do is refocus ourselves on elections and people participating at the local level. Because when people aren't out and about, they aren't talking to their neighbors, and they aren't building community. So what I'd like to do is repeal Act 77, which was the bill that changed our system, and go back to having elections be the day of the election and also be held at the polls. But if people have a challenge, if they're traveling and they cannot be at the polls, then they can apply for an absentee ballot, much like the mail-in ballot, but they must apply for it in advance, as they have to with the mail-in ballot. If we go to back to that, I think that's going to help make sure that we focus on the integrity of our election. But one of the most important things that I think we need to change is to add a requirement for voter identification. Because if every voter has the confidence that he or she is the only person who's able to vote their name, then people should have more confidence in our elections. I think it's by having everyone work together. What I mentioned earlier about having people come out to the polls, that's how we build community. That's just a part of it. My poll always had a bake sale on election day, and people would talk to each other whether they were Republicans or Democrats. And it was about community. It wasn't about the divisiveness that we've seen lately. I think it's important for us to build community on so many levels, though, not just through our elections being in person again. It's important for us in each town to, like I was talking about earlier, provide economic opportunity. Let's have thriving chambers of commerce in different groups so people can meet and build together. That way, we become more a part of each other's lives, and we don't find ourselves in political silos and fighting like people have been when we were all shut down during COVID. I think that really exacerbated a lot of our problems. Social media, being locked in our homes. Let's start rebuilding Pennsylvania by rebuilding communities. I'm Melissa Hart, candidate for governor of Pennsylvania, and I appreciate the honor to speak with you today.